Well, that sucks. 8 living room in the bedroom. Lotus. Santa. 7. June. And himself. He looked at each one of them in turn and then slowly placed hands in the pocket of his vest. But do you think you could all come with me? Come with you. I want all of you to go to the big hospital room. There's something I want to be sure of. I don't like this ending. It's really the culprit. Then you're saying, yep, I think I've got it figured out. I know who killed Snake and Clover. And the atmosphere in the room changed. Grief was suddenly gone, replaced by a tension of straped letters stretched into his limits. Fights of his eyes stared at Junpei. Pretend not to notice. Anyway, if you could all move to the big hospital room, I'll explain everything as soon as we get there. Almost as if on cue, the bell began to ring. Come on. Bell from the clock in the main staircase. 5. The bell rang 5 times, then ceased. It was 5 o'clock. They had only an hour left. We don't have a lot of time left. Let's go. If we want to live. One by one, they followed Junpei out of the bedroom. Actually, before we get started, I was hoping you could do something for me. Step in front of the door 3 and turn around. A7 and Lotus, could you please place your palms on the red? A7 Lotus. 1, 8. Yeah. A7, 7, 8. 16, 7. That would be the root of 7 though. Need to get to the shower room. Why don't we just... No, we're not going inside. Once you've authenticated, step away from the door. Just please do it. Perhaps you don't want to know who killed Snake and Clover. Implication was clear and 7 understood perfectly. Fine. What about you, Ace Lotus? Very well. Sure. Quickly, they pressed their palms onto the red. Once they had finished, they stepped away from the door, as Junpei had instructed. 3 asterisks showed from the red display panel. Ah, not again, you! I don't want you. Get out of my face. Ah, go away. I was bracelet over the scanner, where he didn't place his palm on it, and instead only brought his bracelet near it. 4th asterisk appeared. Just as Junpei had expected, it was possible to authenticate it without placing one's palm on the red, as long as the bracelet was brought near it. Pull the lever down. Wait, that's 3, right? So 8, 16, 16, yeah, 21 plus 5. 16 plus 5 is 21. 21 is 3. And like a hungry mouth, long seconds pass. And the door shut, unfed. Walked slowly back to the others who were waiting some distance away from the door, taking one step, talking to one another, and joined them as well. Looked as though they hadn't found a chance to break the conversation yet. As June approached, they turned to look at him, curiously plain on their face. Before long, the other 3 did as well. Clearly, they were all expecting some answers. Thanks. I appreciate your cooperation. Clearly, they hope for something more forthcoming, he continued. By the way, Ace, would you mind if I ask you something? Do you know who I am? What kind of question? Just answer me, please. Who am I? Junpei. Of course, who else would you be? Fortunately, that's the wrong answer. I'm Santa. What? I was full of surprise, but it was also tinged with confusion and fear. Everyone else looked nearly as surprised. Santa looked especially shocked to discover he was actually someone else. Spoke, however, the trap would be exposed. Quickly continued. The clothes I'm wearing I borrowed from Junpei. And the clothes he's wearing are mine. We had a little swap. That's ridiculous. Impossible. So you're saying I'm not Santa? Of course you aren't. Why? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't open for us just now. 10 would be 1. But the 4 of us just opened door 3. You can't possibly be with Santa. Your bracelet number isn't 3. It's 5. Right. Only then, when it was too late, did Ace realize his mistake. You're exactly right. My bracelet number is 5. Junpei lifted his wrist up to show everyone bright red 5 in his hand. Sorry, Ace. I tricked you. I'm not really Santa. I'm Junpei. Who would possibly think it was? It's obviously not. To think I was ridiculous. But I guess you couldn't see just how obvious it was. I asked you before, didn't I? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? And you answered, if you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. What? Well, why I'm not Santa, I mean. First thing that would come to anyone else's mind wouldn't be the bracelet number. The only one thing they'd say, my face! You don't have his face. You have prosopagnosia. Am I right? Junpei's voice was quiet and calm. He knew the truth, so did Ace. He could hear a sudden buzz of conversation from the others. What's that? He heard Lotus began to explain it to them. Ace glanced at them, then turned back toward Junpei and sighed. Very well. I confess, I have prosopagnosia. I cannot differentiate human faces. Is that what this was about? You want to mock me for my disorder? No, not at all. I'm not making fun of you at all. In fact, I kind of feel bad for you. No, the reason I brought this up is that there's an excellent chance that the person who killed Snake... you... Narrowed. What do you mean? Lean casually against the iron piping of one of the beds. I'll come right out with it. I think it was you, Ace, who killed him. Suddenly very aware of the 5 pairs of eyes on him. He had their undivided attention now. Attention. The room had grown very, very quiet. Junpei took a deep breath. That's ridiculous. What possible evidence do you... I have 3 pieces of evidence. First, think back a few hours ago. You made us argue over 3 doors here in the big hospital rooms. There was no way all 7 people could go through them. Lotus suggested that we sacrifice one of us. Look away awkwardly. Not again! Back, sister calls. Okay, glanced at her and continued. Then you said, Ace. Then you said, I'll stay here. Why would you say something like that? It's really simple. You didn't want us to see the dead body in the shower room. You see, if Ace stayed behind, there were only 2 doors the rest of us could go. Doors 7 and 8. There was no way we could get through door 3, the shower room. You knew that, didn't you? That's why you volunteered to stay behind. Come on now, I think that's going a bit far. I can understand if you're jealous of my bravery, but please don't devalue my actions. I only wanted to save the rest of you. Sure, you can understand my altruism. Really? Narrowed up into the darkness at something very interesting and lazily began to dig into the persistent in the back, swagged up their ear. Ew, disgusting. Don't do that. You already knew, didn't you? You knew whatever door we took, eventually we'd end up back in the big hospital room. What on earth are you saying? Of course I didn't know that. How could I? Really? Yes. Bleeding was not something they'd heard from Ace before. From his ear, glanced at it and flicked it off in the darkness. That's cool. I still got 2 more. Second is that I said earlier you have prosopagnosia, then you simply implied that a person who cannot distinguish human faces must be a bad person. Junpei, they call that prejudice. No, I'm not that stupid. Then why? Yeah, before I explain, I suppose there's something I should tell you. The corpse in the shower room, it's not Snake's. What? This went fail. The others looked as beautiful as well. It's not body, not Snake. I didn't put it together right away, but there was something Clover told me. She said that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. He lost his real arm in an accident. But the body we saw in the shower room had, let's say, call him Guy X. Guy X's left arm was definitely flesh and blood. In other words, the Guy X couldn't possibly be Snake. Oh god. No, that's impossible. So muttering himself deliriously into himself, shaking his head back and forth. Junpei was long past caring. Let's say hypothetically that the killer didn't have prosthesia. Heard the case, he would immediately realize that the guy's X wasn't a snake. Even if the clothes were the same as the snakes, their faces would be completely different. It would have been obvious they are different people, and yet they still killed him. Why? Why would they kill a stranger who only just showed up? On the other hand, if the killer did have prosthesia, it made sense. They thought Guy X was a snake and killed him. Wait just a moment. Let's say you're right and I missed the Guy X for snake. Even if I did, you would have no motive to kill him. Why would I want to kill snake? Oh. We have to add the numbers now. 9th guy plus 1. His own guy versus his own bracelet is 10. Plus snakes is 12. You make that into 3, you can go into room 3. I can think of at least 2 motives. Snake knew about your past. If he even revealed what he knew, that would have been really bad for you. You really didn't want that to happen. To make sure Snake's mouth stayed shut, you killed him. 2. Snake had a grudge against you. You know that, or at least you could have easily assumed he did. Even without exposing your identity, he was a threat to you. You never knew when you might be attacked. You couldn't ever let your guard down. Every moment was a moment he'd try something. He didn't want that kind of danger hanging over you, so... Hold on a minute. The first time since the beginning of Jun's explanation, someone besides Ace spoke. What's the past thing that Ace didn't want us to know? Why did Snake have a grudge against him? Look at this. And it sent a small piece of paper. Santa squinted at the paper and began to read. Nonary game was played once before 9 years ago. Person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. Planned by the following 4 people. Da 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 da. What is this? Slowly Santa looked up from the paper. His eyes missed Junpei. It's a message from Zero. It was in the safe in the first class cabin. Then suddenly... Give me a break. Okay, shaking, and his face was full of tricked with despair. That paper's a lie. Someone's trying to frame me. Me. You said me. Her narrowed and chapter began to close. Great! His eyes flicked off to Junpei, anything, something in. Wouldn't that mean you're a hungo? You're a hungo! Or am I mistaken? Switch pin flip. Color drained from his face, and as realized what had done, his eyes went wide. Very well, I admit that much. I am certainly the CEO. Hango. So what if I am? I don't know anything about this notary game that was supposedly took place 9 years ago. Everything on that crap is bullshit. Someone's trying to set me up. First of all, desperately worked himself to more tenable position. You're claiming I did all this by myself. Think that over, alright? How could I have killed Snake all by myself? Not Snake, it was Guy X. Oh, don't care who it was. You said the killer put the other man in the door 3. Then I couldn't have possibly done that alone. I couldn't have opened the door 3 with only myself and Guy X. No, you could have. What? He was tight and his teeth were clenched. Fixated on the level stare. The chaps was about to close. When you were unconscious, I took something from you. Remember when you were injected with that anesthetic and fell into the deep hospital bed, sleep in the big hospital room? Yeah, back then, I took this. Hand to his pocket. No, you couldn't have. Oh yes, I did. I got you. Your right hand there tells me all I needed to know. Want to tell me what you were so worried about? What's in your pocket? It's a number 9 bracelet, isn't it? Ace, Guy X, and the 9 Vans bracelet. That's all you need to open the door 3. That's how you killed Guy X all by yourself. All you needed was the number 9 bracelet in your chest pocket. Ace lowered his hand from where it had stopped halfway to his pocket. He looked down at the floor, his face hidden from Junpei. All he could see was the corner of Ace's mouth, twitching like a dying fish. Ew! If you want to play innocent, that's fine by me. Go ahead and tell me I don't have the bracelet, if that's what you want to do. But if you could take off your coat and hand it to me, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll have to take it from you by force. Right, 7? Yeah. It'd be my pleasure. Crack his knuckles in the sun like a gunfire. I love you, 7. I really love you. Can you be my bodyguard? Oh god, he's going insane. He's gonna have those dark circles. Oh god. He's roared with laughter. He threw his arms wide and his head back, and laughed filled the room with a sound that scarcely belonged there. Then it stopped. His arms came down and his hands dropped to look straight ahead. And me. Oh god, that's a scary face. Cold, devoid of any emotion. Well done. As you can see, early deduce I have the number 9 bracelet. I retrieved it while we were searching for the missing hardware for the red. I left the room I was supposed to search and headed to the first class cabin on B deck. Showed no emotion, no sense of remorse or interest. It was almost bored, as though we were reciting at the specially dull corporate letter. My purpose was to obtain the number 9 bracelet. 9 is the potent ally in the nonary game. Adding 9 to any set of numbers won't alter the digital root. As you can see, 9 is a very useful number here. With it, one can go anywhere with anyone. So I made for the first class cabin to obtain it. You're crazy. Acquired the number 9 bracelet. He also found an unexpected bonus, the knife. Oh no, slipped both of them in his chest, pocket knife as quickly as he come. He walked down the stairs and headed back to where he was supposed to be. That was when he met Guy X and mistook him for Snake. Snake was on his way to the large hospital room and he had not noticed Ace behind him. Made sure it stayed that way. He followed the man wearing Snake's clothes to door 3. When the man stopped, he walked up behind him quietly and called out, "Snake!" Turned to look at Ace. He said nothing. The words came out of his, "Ooh, he looks dead." Why is he walking around anyway? They somehow almost like a half man sleeping. When drugged, it didn't matter to Ace. Certainly it was sick. Like had been part of the nonary game 9 weeks before. Recognized Ace immediately, but he was blind. That much made sense. Why then hadn't Snake said anything to him? Because he's still drunk. Surely he hadn't forgotten what had happened to him in the nonary game, but not once had he attempted to confront Ace. Perhaps his lack of sight prevented him from recognizing Ace. Or perhaps Snake had conspired with Zero to deceive Ace. If either event he was a threat, and it was better to deal him sooner rather than later. Ace's mind was made up, he moved. Great, this is a very terrible ending. Very terrible. Ridiculously terrible. Waved his own bracelet in front of the bed and finally grabbed Snake's arm and shoved his hand against the scanner panel. The door opened. Threw him in there. 9 seconds later, the door shut. Bye. The man inside was dead. Hey, you're scary. You bring the water. I saw my process, though nothing had happened. After conducting my own search, I returned to the large room and when the 1 a.m. bell rang, cold and his cheeks were hollow and pale. What the hell is that face? When he spoke, only his lips and tongue moved. The rest of the face was eerily still. He took a deep breath and thought about the next question he had to ask. Didn't want to, he knew the answer would be. Just didn't want to hear it. She swallowed and then spoke. Did you kill Clover? Why? It was possible he had told her something dangerous. Additionally, she had gone through door 1. It seemed likely she might have found it. Why don't you go through 1 yourself? Perhaps it's hidden somewhere. Loden and I went through door 1 too. We didn't see anything suspicious. As I thought, I doubt the 2 of you could find it. What? Clover was different. Perhaps she had found it. It's better to find. At least I did in the first class cabin. I spoke very calmly. Did you see it? Don't act as if you don't understand. You were in the captain's headquarters, weren't you? What are you talking about? By the way, what are you doing here, Clover? Ah, there's blood on your knees, on your shoes. Looks fresh. Did you go take a look at the ninth man's corpse? I see. Your silence suggests that you noticed. You saw something, didn't you? You saw that his bracelet was gone. Clover ran. She made for the exit, but they stood in her way. Why is this so descriptive? You aren't going anywhere. As she passed and threw her on the floor. Wow, you know to open water. She leaped up, darted past him, and into the hallway. Followed in the run, but she fell in the toilet. Ah! Nope. That was how I killed Clover. Unchanged. Felt guilt or remorse or anything one might feel after taking the life of another human being to show you. Okay, 7! Do it! Kill him. Bloodthirsty and Lotus and June's face were distorted by anger and hatred. His mouth, it was cold, cruel thing with no humor in it. Shook his head and sighed. Yeah. I admit it. Where's the cover? Oh, here's the cover.
No.
Cover?
No, let's smoke up, please.
No, just drink there. It's okay.
Huh?
Just drink there. I have lost it completely and utterly. But don't misunderstand, Junpei. I didn't lose to you. I lost to Zero. I'm rather disgusted with myself for falling into such simple trap. And it was a trap, made no mistake. I was trapped and manipulated by Zero. The man I killed in the shower room. If he wasn't Snake, then I had no idea who he was. But he was wearing Snake's clothes and that had no coincidence. There was no coincidence, sorry. And injected with something that reduced his cognition and prevented him from identifying himself or resisting me. And we can't forget the components that were removed from the red before we arrived. I have no doubt that Zero planned all of this. Zero made sure I would kill that man. It followed, of course, that Zero knew everything I would do. That I would try to take the number 9 bracelet. That I would try to kill Snake. Everything. You remember the paper he found in the safe? Or else where Zero had written. I must punish them for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. Innocent souls that be saved. I now state the truth. And he remembered other words what he heard from Clover. One of us. 5 people standing in front of him. Santa. June. 7. Lotus. One of us. There was one more person. Snake. It was clear now that the man who died in the shower room was not Snake. That meant that Snake was almost certainly still alive. Perhaps Snake was Zero. Snake had made the guy wear his clothes so that he would be appeared to be dead. Snake now. Perhaps he was somewhere laughing at them. Come on! Was he watching them? Don't do this. Don't do this. I believe I've finished with my confession. Why don't we get moving? Sounded as if he just finished doing nothing more than exciting the describing the weather. You aren't going anywhere. Because I killed Clover? That's ridiculous. Why are you so upset that I killed the little stranger you only met a few hours ago? Yup, everyone's angry. Let's fast. Great! Raise a fist of her own. Yeah! Straight to his nose. You got some fire, don't you? I confess I rather like a tough woman. Stop that! I want to break your nose and face and everything. Well, maybe like another one then. Before that, let me give you one of my own. Oh, come on! No! I forgot you have the gun! I'm running. Oh, Bull Lotus back and I ends him in the same. No. Oh no. A revolver. Almost lazy, he tilted it to a point that loses his head. Any of you so much as a blink, I won't hesitate to pull the trigger. I've already killed 2, no 3 people. Don't think I'm already. There are 4. 3? Are you talking about 9 years ago? Very well. Let me take this opportunity to illuminate you. The person who killed this nightman was me. Although I suppose it was more, I encouraged him to get himself killed. While we were examining the main entrances, he came into the meeting, told me his name. I recognized it at once, so I gave him a little push. Just a little white lie. It seems that the setting for the dead were altered. Now it only requires a single person to deactivate the detonator in the bracelet. Investigate what's beyond the door. We'll meet again. Okay, have a good one, guys. I'm going off ahead now. What is that?
Anna.
No, I meant the troll.
It's Anna.
That one. Okay. Shoot. I wasn't stopping. You lied. Open the door, please. I'm begging you. Help me. Please get me out of here. Get me out of here. No time left. Listen, I was lied to. He lied to me. He put me in here. It was him. He killed me. It was him. You could have just said the description, right? I had 4 reasons for killing him. I said before, the honor game, the number 9 bracelet is of utmost importance. If I had allowed him to keep such a useful tool, he or it would have become a threat to me. As such, I decided that he should be eliminated early on. I wanted the number 9 bracelet. If I managed to obtain him, I would be able to manipulate the game as I saw fit. We were unable to acquire the bracelet unless the owner was dead. Even setting aside, he would be nothing but trouble for me, or my past. He knew what happened 9 years ago. It's important that I eliminate him before he was able to emulate this information. I thought you said you couldn't recognize his face or the name. We done a simple test. A test to see if the honor game was serious or a poor attempt at the joke. Little quite short. As such, I encouraged him to get against the rules so that might observe the outcome. Junpei glared at him. I don't get your third motive. What the heck was happened 9 years ago? The honor game was played. We planned out and conducted its execution. Why was it supposed to do? Yeah, exactly. I don't really think I have the obligation to tell you that. I was trying to provoke them and it was more. Great! I did attention to Lotus after catching her. The gun had never wavered from her temple. Oh, come on. She's got kids!
What a cut on here.
Oh no. What's with the gun? Where did he get this? Why don't you tell her, Santa? Yep. On the other side of door 6. We found the gun in the coffin in the cargo room. Plus I grabbed it when we weren't looking. That was a pretty serious mistake, you know. Just saying you intended to leave it behind. Ah, great. There isn't much time left. I'll be off then. Do I really need to explain? So loud! Must be obvious. I have the number 9 bracelet, and now I have Lotus. Isn't there another look like a church? That's where you're going, isn't it? And how do you know that? Ah! Back! Oh my god, it's over an hour long, I don't care. Santo Baba, we're looking for Clover. I see. Well, you are correct, that is my destination, but now I must say goodbye to all of you. And please don't forget my warning. Move and I'll pull the trigger. I don't need her alive to be open the door, you know. Great. He's got kids, you idiot! As at the face of the man gone mad, they had no doubt he would pull the trigger, reach the exit, Lotus opened it, and then turn, addressed them once more. Bye-bye. Step through the door and he's gonna lock the door. It fell shut. In the blink of an eye, they were gone. As soon as Ace and Lotus were gone, Junpei and others leaped for the door in pursuit of Ace. But as Junpei landed his hand on the doorknob, it's closed. There was a noise behind him. Again. Breathing heavily. June, what happened? Are you alright? June wrapped his arm around her before she could collapse all the way. Geez, you're bearing up. Your fever's back. Are you okay? Had returned again for no apparent reason. Her eyes were watery and her eyelids dropped. Her breathing came in dry, swallowed gasp. Shallowed gasp, sorry. I'm okay, really, I'm fine. You should be worrying about Lotus. And she could barely summon the strength to talk. Oh great, he couldn't leave June alone in the state she was in, but every moment they waited, Ace was farther and farther away. The Junpei managed to make her weak smile. Jumpy, don't worry about me. I just need a little rest, I'll be fine. And remember, I just need to rest a little bit, like last time. Please, please save Lotus. Think about Ace already done it. When he's got what he needs, you really think he's gonna let her live? Great! We have to go. If June starts feeling better, we'll follow you. Go! And you both are in cognizance. Couldn't manage much more, but it was all for the confirmation Junpei needed. His result was set. Alright, I'm going. Let's go! Let's go! Take good care of June, I'm trusting you. Chance to change his mind and started running towards the door. Let's go. Excuse me. Come on, just keep running. It's so convenient that everything now is easily accessible. Junpei and Seven had finally arrived at the church, exhausted and out of breath. As their lungs struggled to catch their breath, their eyes frantically scanned the room. No sign of Ace or Lotus. You think they already went through? Reached out and wiped a palm full of sweat from his brow. Maybe. Junpei was already on the way to the larger door, number 9. Look at the red. Vacant. Spun around and head towards the other one. Time if Ace and Lotus had moved to the other room. This one. It's occupied. That means Ace and Lotus went through here. Away from the door. She did the center and began to talk. Now what should we do? Well, the big door is still vacant, but the two of us can't do anything with it. First of all, our digital route is not 9. They were pondering what to do next. I'm alive, people! There was noise, a noise like someone hitting a thick wooden panel. Junpei looked up, surprised. Seven followed suit, his eyes jumping around the room, looking for the source of the sound. It wasn't long before they found the altar. Or more precisely, what was on it. The coffin. Let's go open it. How? By force. I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, you never told to try. Only resisted even will suffer 1,000 failures. Who said that? I forgot. Okay, we gotta try. Really? Really? They grappled what purchase they could find and pulled. Dang. See, didn't I tell ya? You would just pull it open. Why would it have something like that? Seven pointed at the keypad on the side of the coffin. Unless I put it right code, it's not gonna open. Hi, guys. Noise hadn't stopped. Continued, it only got louder and more forceful. What were they supposed to do? There's some sort of clue somewhere. Are we just gonna end up in second ending again? Stood there for a moment staring at the coffin and then Seven spoke. I remember you mumbling about some weird numbers over by the bathroom in the first class cabin. You got the numbers by solving the secret message Clover was holding, right? Truth had gone, Truth had done something like that. What about it? Maybe that number's passcode for something, or this too. Those numbers were the code to unlock the safe. Yeah, but the person who set that up safe was... The person who set up the safe in this cup is the same person, right? Zero set up both of these. Yeah, probably.